AI is a tool. That's it, full stop. And the one holding the tool should treat AI as a party plus one. So if you think of it, AI is the guest we invite into our work, not the one throwing the party. So we have to check the work, we have to ask questions, we have to do research on our own. But think of AI as kind of a plus one guest, not the host.
Welcome to AI to Z, your gateway to the world of STEM and the careers shaping its future. Hosted by Airswift's Chief Revenue Officer, Anna Frazzetto, we delve into artificial intelligence, health tech, and more. With insights from industry leaders, Anna not only demystifies STEM, but also highlights the exciting career paths within. Whether you're an enthusiast, a professional, or considering a STEM career, tune in and journey with us into the future.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am super excited today to be able to do this podcast because I get to do it with not only a tremendous work colleague, but also a personal friend. We have Leslie Vickrey with us today. And if I could describe what Leslie does in her spare time, she is a CEO and founder of Clear Edge Marketing. For almost 18 years now, she started a new business arm early last year called Clear Edge Rising, which I would love to hear more about, Leslie, during the podcast, and co-founder of ARA, which is Attract, Retain, and Advance Women in Tech, an organization that I'm very, very fond of and is near and dear to me. Leslie, thank you so much for being here today.
Anna, always a pleasure. Anytime I can join you for a conversation, it's yes, hands down.
Excellent, excellent. So, Leslie, I know there's a lot that we want to cover today. So, let's kind of talk a little bit about the impact of AI affecting the staffing industry. We both are so heavily involved in the staffing industry. You from a marketing and branding support perspective, myself from the tech perspective, but we're starting to see AI really affecting all aspects of all industries across the board. So what do you think? What are you seeing out there?
Yeah, it's a great question, Anna, and you're right. It's funny. I've been doing obviously a lot of research on AI and doing the work actually from a practitioner standpoint and thinking about as an agency and marketing and the staffing industry, what we need to do. If you think back on our industry, I feel like there's a lot of lessons we can learn from the past kind of going into AI as well. So there's always something that continues to happen. And if you think about just the pattern of AI, we've had it in recruiting automation with chatbots, but now every conference, every session, everything we're seeing AI kind of thrown into the thick of everything. So you and I, having been in the staffing industry over 20 years, we've had Y2K, we've had websites and mobile, people being afraid to even go mobile. We've had the pandemic and work from home, chatbots, as I mentioned, and different apps and platforms. We've had different forms of change and innovation happen in the staffing industry. And I think it's really important as companies, so there's the industry at large and then companies, to think about where they fall kind of on that chain. So if they're innovators and eager to try new ideas, if they're early adopters, which is really kind of they're respected by their peers, they have a reputation for being successful by using new ideas. They're the early majority, so they'll adopt new ideas just before everyone else. And then the late majority, which I've sat on plenty of panels, talked to plenty of people who are more skeptical of adopting new ideas, and they just wait for that early majority or the average person. And then you have the laggards or the traditionalists, and they're really the last to adopt innovation. So I find it interesting as we think of the industry as a whole and think about where do we fall in that? So each company to think about it. So you as Airswift, myself as Clear Edge, any people we know, to really kind of own where they fall and then consider what they should be doing as it relates to AI. Obviously, I'm wearing it from a marketing lens, so to speak. So I've been in sales, running my own company now for over 17 years. And we all know whoever leads sales and marketings for teams or helps them, that we're really trying to help improve performance and outcomes. And we know, you know yourself, you've been in sales your whole career too. It's a lot of administrative work and research. So for me, I think the most impressive work AI is doing for staffing and sales and marketing is really on that front end of how we can become more efficient. And I'm happy to share more examples of that. But I don't believe a lot of jobs are going away and we need to panic and be worried. Again, if you look back at to different stages of our industry and what you and I have both been through, there's been plenty of panic, plenty of fear. It really depends on how you lead and what you're looking for, but there's plenty of potential and opportunity for AI in our industry, and I think efficiency is a big piece of that.
Right. And that's, talk about really summarizing it so nicely, Leslie. I think the challenges is kind of combating some of the fear elements that are out there. But the fact is, it's a tool and it's supposed to make you, more effective and more efficient in your role. I can understand there being concern when people are early adopters to, new technology, new trends, and you want to kind of have it out there maybe a little bit before. So, the expression of, do you want to be bleeding edge or leading edge
Right.
when you look at your organization? But those are all the pieces that I think, again, it's like if you look at it from a good point, right? From a good place that it's there to kind of help you. Maybe we can dive a little bit more and looking at how are you addressing the role and the use of AI with your team and your clients, right? Because I'm sure you're getting asked questions from your clients, and where do you see the greatest impact?
Yeah. And one word you used earlier, Anna, that I'd love to hone in on is really the use of the word tool. And there's a saying, Ann Hanley, who's a marketing expert, she says, AI is a tool. That's it, full stop. And the one holding the tool should treat AI as a party plus one. So if you think of it, AI is the guest we invite into our work, not the one throwing the party. So we have to check the work, we have to ask questions, we have to do research on our own. But think of AI as kind of a plus one guest, not the host, which I thought was a really interesting way to think about or look at AI from that sense. So you're spot on. It is a tool. Now, where I'm seeing a lot of efficiency increases, we'll just talk about sales and marketing for a minute here with AI, is really in building and qualifying targets. And marketing is seeing a big efficiency on that around lead quality and process acceleration. So I think probably the best example would be email marketing. And it is a channel that continues to yield incredibly high ROI. And with AI, your large target lists for email marketing campaigns, they can now rapidly be segmented and personalized based on the persona and insights and really market data. So if you think of it, personalized marketing has been a trend for a while, and automation and email marketing. Now with AI, you can take those large lists and really enable it to help you. So again, finding those efficiencies. So it's been helping email marketers improve segments of content for years now. We can optimize subject lines for higher opening rates. We can analyze email performance and really identify problem areas, I would say. So the other interesting thing is when we talk about, we'll just stick on the subject of email marketing here for a minute, but subject lines, they're now expanding into the body content. So email automation providers, they're really building great generative AI into their platforms so that both the content, so words and graphics, can be generated pretty rapidly using an AI tool. So it's adding this incredible speed. And I know our kind of endlessly exploding email boxes are evidence of how AI in marketing has made it easier and faster. And sometimes anything, to get out to market can be that fast. So it really can be a competitive advantage for you. But I think above all, it's just that big question. How do you win the white space? How do you tell your story and convey your value prop with tools that are accessing the same resources and the same data sets as your competitors? If you can't, AI will always have an efficiency I would say, advantage on humans. So those who master leveraging AI for that efficiency will have that competitive advantage. And it's really that connectivity and creativity advantage of great salespeople. Again, as you know, marketers, that kind of uniquely human ability to improvise and engage. That's really the competitive advantage that AI yet cannot capture, but AI can help with that, the efficiency side. So leverage us for connectivity and creativity, and leverage AI for the efficiency. Lauren Jones, who you and I both know and love, has shared this statement that I love, like, AI won't replace you, but someone who knows it will. So marketing, marketers, sales execs, sales reps, everyone should really understand what it does, because if you don't, there's someone who's going to come along who does, and they will be, much more efficient at doing it. And just one last statement on the whole email piece. There's an interesting quote, your from line matters more than your subject line. So I want to pause for a minute on that, Anna, because as much as efficiency as we can have in creating personalized content and just the right subject lines, and, be really creative with the images and the graphics that we make, at the end of the day, when people say, do you think AI is going to take over sales and marketers? The from line, that personal relationship. So if I get an email coming from you, Anna, it doesn't matter the subject line, unless I think it's spam for some reason and someone's taken over your account. It's from you, someone who I know and I trust and I want to read the content from. So it's really important to keep that in mind, that those relationships and that trust between the subscriber and the brand, it's really what triggers success in marketing above anything else, in my opinion.
Oh my goodness, Leslie, you've said so many things that I want to kind of capture and also expand upon. First of all, going to Lauren Jones, she was just recently on the podcast and actually said that statement, and I think that's exactly 100%, correct. It's up to us to be able to master AI and make us better at our jobs.
Yes.
Looking at the efficiency from the email and the personalized touch.
Yep.
Exactly, 100%. Coming from a sales background, AI is not going to replace the human element and the relationship that you have with a client. It's supposed to make you stronger and more efficient in how you can communicate to possible, prospects, and be able to gain, the business in that fashion. Personalized touch. There's nothing that frustrates me more than when I look at my emails and I have hundreds of emails where it was literally just like cookie cutter. And I can go from email to email and they all look the same. And there's nothing in that email that refers to either Anna Frazzetto, refers to Airswift, refers to what I'm passionate about. There's no hook for me to actually want to engage in this email at all. And that's what's frustrating, is that blanket, let me send it out to as many people as possible. And if I send 1,000 out, if one sticks, that's success. But meanwhile, super frustrating.
Yes.
So yeah, not good.
Yeah. Right, exactly. And I mean, that's the beauty of leveraging technology and tools, right? It's if you find a way to make it more efficient and more likely for someone to not only open, but take action, whether that be a response or a click or whatever you want that action to be, ultimately leading to a meeting and leading to an opportunity and building that relationship, then the more likely you are to be successful. So I always ask, like, why wouldn't you want that? That's the ultimate goal. So if you can stay up on and research and find that out, that's great for you. One of the things that Lauren does really well, and she's actually helping us with too, is just, where is your company as it relates to AI? She has some workshops that she offers, but also coming into companies. And, how much are you taking the time, not only as a company, but functions within a division, to really look at the role that it can have, and not rely necessarily on your team to become an expert, but hiring experts to help you become that expert. And then educating yourself as well can really help give yourself a leg up on that. But there's plenty of articles, plenty of, webinars and events that you can learn and take advice and get feedback. But at the end of the day, it's something we're definitely doing as a company. How do we become more efficient? How do we best leverage AI? And then in the way of which we deliver marketing services to our clients, think about PR all the way to analytics and data and research, all the way to writing a lot of content, doing brand strategy, and so forth. We're going to be the creatives. We're coming up with the creative. We're doing visual design, but how can we leverage AI to be more efficient in doing that without losing that personalized touch, so to speak?
Right. So just adding to that, Leslie, I know we've kind of been talking about like the human element component with automation and AI. Is there a big concern that you think that we're going to get to a certain point where the human people element of engagement is going to suffer or possibly be reduced to where it could possibly affect sales and marketing?
Right. Well, if you think about it, Anna, and it's a great question. We've all heard about most buying decisions. They're emotional. And a lot of times, you and I are both in the B2B world, the B2C world. It's a lot around emotional buying. It is in B2B as well. And it's kind of tapping into that a little bit. So studies have proven this out. It's emotional buying. Harvard Business School, they have some research that found that 95% of buying decisions are subconscious urges and drivers. So what people say often does not reflect what they do. In other words, so ask anyone doing polling in an election in recent years, and polling has been using advanced analytics, for since the days where we were all saying big data. What AI cannot do is tap into that human emotion in a really genuine and enduring way. It can give people, I think, real relief in their workdays by accelerating information gathering, keeping you on a schedule, and providing data. But can it relate to the real challenges, those stresses, the joys, the highs, the ambition and complexity of day-to-day life that drive our choices? No. And that's where you want your outstanding, I would say, sales and marketing teams to live. They should live in that reclaiming the time AI has saved them to invest in building great connections with well-qualified leads that have been built through AI's targeting and ranking capabilities. So that means in marketing research speak, to get qualitative, to really take the time to understand that unique perspective of people inside the business and focus on their challenges and needs. And really, that's the true power in sales and marketing. It isn't talking about you and your business, it's talking about the client, and that requires intelligent, reciprocal conversation. And if sales and marketing can fuel that within the world of your brand and capabilities, then you're doing it right. So again, focus on efficiency building for those teams where they can focus on really where it matters. And that's that emotional, that human emotion, genuine, enduring way.
Oh, and Leslie, I can honestly say I don't think I've ever bought anything in my life without having that human connection
Yep.
and that emotional kind of buy-in. Even to my last purchase of an espresso machine, because the Williams Sonoma sales rep had me, feeling like I was sitting in the Amalfi Coast, sipping an espresso. And so before you know it, I'm buying like the mega Nespresso machine because I think now when I'm home, I'm going to
Right.
recreate, that vision. But
Oh,
I,
that's so incredible. I
but
mean,
I
you wanting to buy this espresso machine, you had me at Amalfi Coast.
exactly. So,
Um,
so I mean, I say that joking around, but honestly, the human, component plays such a big role in being able to really understand your buyer. AI is not going to understand the buyer as well as you are, personally. So
right.
that's the key. So, what elements of AI has you most excited for the future, and which ones have you maybe a little bit worried?
Well, I mean, for me, Anna, you and I have worked since about 98 together. So we've been in the staffing industry a long time, myself mostly in marketing, you in sales. And I really hope that AI can help bring sales and marketing even closer together and just find a way to not have silos between groups. If it's sales, recruiting, marketing, and so forth, I think there's a really nice opportunity to bring in, really a good, fair way to work together and see how sales and marketing can really help each other from the personalization and efficiency gaining and just celebrating those successes. So we're really seeing that as a big opportunity to bring groups even more closely together because we both can embrace the same thing with it, which is efficiency. So I do believe once we have ideas that spark with speed and come to the table to show results, that we can celebrate in that together, and we'll have some common ground and that we're both finding ways to leverage it, of course. When it comes to what could be, negative, you really hope that it's not something that is manipulating something or something in a negative way, that it really is something that can be helpful. And, want to make sure that from a verified, unbiased, intelligent way that it can help our creativity and not create something that could be dangerous or manipulative. So I think it's just constantly keeping an eye on the trends and where it makes the most sense to use it, and also understanding your clients and what they're comfortable with as well when you're talking about using it in your work, how it will benefit your work for them. The more efficient we are as recruiters or in sales, it ultimately helps the end client as well, and we want to make sure they see and feel that partnership too, and that it's coming from a really good place. When you lead in fear, you can often think that the fear side of it could be that it's manipulating something or people aren't using it in the right intention. So I think it's just staying, close to that to make sure that it's not doing that for you. So steer AI away from anything to do with manipulation. And, many technologies have both the power for great good and for destruction. AI is no different. The risk is that of manipulating people and outcomes through unfathomable access to personal data. That's where we could get into trouble, and that would not be a good thing. So again, focusing on those enduring relationships and satisfied customers and candidates, that's where we have to stay strong. Manipulation of people who trust us is a moral shortcut, and that's one that should never be chosen.
Oh, that's a great summary, Leslie. Leslie, before we wrap up, if you can just share with the audience a little bit about Clear Edge Rising.
Oh my gosh, Anna, thank you for asking that question. Actually, we're just about to announce a refreshed brand for ourselves. So we have a new brand coming out this week, so first week in February. And a big piece of that is because we've launched two new practices and divisions in the last year. So we launched Clear Edge Recruiting, where we are helping our clients staff their recruiting teams. And then we launched Clear Edge Rising, which is really with the intention of helping more women in recruiting and HR tech get into the C-suite and on boards, should that be where they want their professional journey to take them. So marketing is the cornerstone of our company. We've been doing marketing for 17 years. Anna, through Aura and all of the work we do together, even the book we did together, We Rise, always looking for ways to help elevate disenfranchised. And for me, and looking at our company and where we are and what we can do for the industries we're so close to, and eventually others, it's really how can we help companies invest in their teams to help develop even more, strength in inclusive workplaces and a more diverse leadership team at the C-suite and the board level. So we do that through monthly cohorts where it's peer-to-peer interaction. We have really 3 levels. We have rising stars, the mid-level, and executive level. And then we're also offering one-on-one coaching and workshops that are for the whole company, for everyone, inclusive of all people. And they really cover some of the similar topics that we host in the different monthly cohorts as well. So anything we can do to make a difference in the space and industries we love to rise more people up, that's really our goal and intention with that.
Excellent, Leslie. That's definitely very exciting times for ClearEdge. So to wrap up the podcast, one power word that you can leave the audience with, what would it be?
Oh gosh. Well, I have to go with rise because, rising up and together we rise. And a big theme around our brand launch is actually sunrises. I love the Andre Day song, to rise up, and anything we can do to lift others. So whether that's through tools and technology, AI being one, just really focused on just the positive side of life in our world and helping others get to new levels, whether it be individuals, companies, the communities we serve, the world at large. So I'm gonna go with rise.
That's fantastic, Leslie. Absolutely. So wonderful to have you, and look forward to having you as a guest again, hopefully soon, so that we can hear about how things are progressing with ClearEdge Rising and some of your other initiatives. So thank you.
Oh, well, thank you, Anna. Thanks for hosting the podcast and inviting me as your guest. Always a pleasure.
Thanks for joining us on the AI to Z podcast with Anna Frazzetto. If you found value in today's episode, consider following for more insightful STEM discussions. We'll be back with another deep dive. Until then.